Hello, everyone, and welcome to the movie show. I'm your host, Tyler Calkins, and today we're going to be doing a movie review for A Marriage Story. I'm trying to catch up on all my Oscar picks because I'd like to make an Oscar who should win, who will win, who do I want to win, who's going to take it home kind of video, and I got to get through some of these big time Netflix films because they kind of swept the awards when the nominations came out. So I'm starting with Marriage Story. I'm going to move into Irishman and Two Popes at some point, but we'll get to that later. But anyway. So, getting through A Marriage Story, this is going to be a non-spoiler review, so we're not going to dive into anything too deep or too personal or anything. We'll cover a couple things maybe, and I'll throw up the warning as I always do, but let's just dive into it. Marriage Story is a really great character film, and it's an unabashed kind of deep dive into the falling apart of a relationship of two people who not only love each other but always will love each other, and that kind of happens when you fall deeply in love with somebody. They've got their child that they have, and they're trying to make it work. And at first they're like, they're almost like whimsical and naive about the process. I think he's further along than she is, but they go into the process, they're trying to figure it out, they realize, oh my god, this is going to get like way messier than it needs to. They start off like soft and innocent, and then they just start to completely fall apart throughout the film. They just, and again, it's probably what happens in a relationship where you just fall apart with somebody. I think if you've ever had a relationship that's fallen apart, you should watch this movie. I think if you've had a marriage that's fallen apart, you should watch this movie. I think the performances within this film are really what make this movie, and it's particularly two performances. It's Scarlett Johansson and it's Adam Driver. They're phenomenal. They're absolutely 100% phenomenal throughout this. Scarlett Johansson. Oh man! And after watching this movie now, it's I don't know where that best actress Oscar is going to go this year, because it's all over the place. And Scarlett Johansson just came out with this performance that is just, it's emotional, it's raw, it's real, it's fantastic, it's really, really good. It's really just amazing stuff from her in this movie. We're going to get to Adam Driver in a second, but before we go on to that, I do want to give some serious special shout out to Laura Dern, who is probably going to take home the Best Supporting Actress Oscar this year for this performance in this movie. And I don't know if she should, but if she does, I don't think it's undeserved. She plays like the smarmy kind of California lawyer who's like all kissy kissy lovey lovey with everybody, but at the same time is like cutthroat. And that seems like really kind of indicative of LA, probably also of LA law in general and divorce lawyers. But what a nightmare scenario, a divorce. And really what this movie does is I think shows you the deep nastiness of a divorce and the costs and the manipulating factors that come in with that. And I think it's just terrible. I think it's just, it makes me want to never get married. It makes me want to never get married to somebody in case this all falls apart. What I do find interesting, and let's go into Adam Driver at this point, because Adam Driver gives just a stellar performance. Adam Driver's so talented, and I'm so glad he got a nomination for this movie. I don't think he's going to win it. I think this is going to Joaquin Phoenix for Joker. He has this amazing performance, and he's also naive. They're both naive. They're both just like figuring it out, and they've had this child and they're trying to make sense of it, and now they're falling out of love with each other, but it's difficult, it's emotional, it's testing. There is one scene between Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver, and they're just, they've built up to it the whole time, and they're finally letting it out. They're finally just like, okay, the niceties, the fakeness of it, we're gonna just hash this out right now. And they do. They hash out in this big, nasty fight that goes on in the middle of their apartment, and in the middle of Adam Driver's apartment. And Adam Driver just, you understand his emotion when it comes out, and he says like these awful, hateful, nasty things. But we all get there. So I sympathize with his character in the moment, because we all, and like immediately after he lets out all this nasty venom, it's just nastiness, he immediately turns around and is like, I'm sorry. And he just falls apart on the floor. And I got emotional because like I really understood, like we've had those moments with people that you love and you're just so goddamn frustrated with them and you're just so mad and you just say something that like you don't mean to say, right? And it's the worst thing you could possibly think of saying, but you say it because you got to hit them back with something because you're just mad. and it happens in this movie, and it's so emotional. It's so good. Noah Baumbach does a wonderful job writing and directing this movie. The scenes are beautiful, at least as far as how they're shot, but they're also emotional. Overall, a really good film. Something I think people should watch. I think Netflix is smart for putting it out there. I don't think it's their big Oscar push because I think that's going to more go to The Irishman, but I do think it's kind of more of a modern day Kramer versus Kramer. Those are my thoughts on Marriage Story. It's on Netflix now, so go watch it. What are your thoughts? Go ahead, watch the movie and then maybe comment down below. Tell me what you thought. Did you get emotional? Did you think it was a good portrait of a falling apart of a marriage? Go ahead, comment down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to the top. That way you don't miss any of my new content. As always, thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.